Can we start it off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory?
To Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, HaKadosh.
Double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and others, great Muslim, and salutations to you, Akim, that's out there listening, pushing forth this word, the truth, and sincerity, and a few Akwat as well, that's listening with sincerity. We're the brothers from the camp, GMS Montreal, coming back with another, indoor camp, prophesying, as per always, and hope, Lord willing, this camp is going to be edifying. And, as we're set in place to prophesy on the downfall of this wicked kingdom, we have to warn our people, okay? Lord, they say in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, to prophesy into the ears of his people the words of prophecy. We can start with that, matter of fact, get the spirit rolling. Whoever got it. 2nd Ezra 15. Because, that's our duty, man. We have to, proclaim these words, proclaim these prophecies before they happen.
Right.
And that's how, the world's going to know that the Heavenly Father set prophets in place, right? A prophet says things before they happen. Pro meaning before, facade meaning to say, and that's what we're set forth to do. Yeah, whoever got it.
No. In 2nd Ezra 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord.
Right, so the Lord gave us commandment to speak the words of prophecy in the ears of our people, man. Okay, and this doctrine that we have, it came directly from the throne of the Heavenly Father. Right? He did say in these last days he will give our people teachers or pastors according to his mind, which will, teach the nation with knowledge and understanding. Okay, and these men are, the men of GMS, starting with the head apostles, on down, man. Okay? And then the other brothers that's teaching the same doctrine. Yeah.
And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Yeah, and they are faithful and true, man. Okay, every word that the Lord said that is going to happen, it will happen. Isaiah 55. Numbers 18. Right? The Lord is not a man, neither the son of man, that he should lie. Whatever he said, he's going to do it. Okay? These words did not just come by the will of man. They came by men as they were moved by the Holy Spirit, man. Right? Okay? Go ahead, bro.
And it says, fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You shouldn't be worried about the unbelievers, those that don't believe in this doctrine, man. Because, once the prophecy starts to pop off, which they already are, they're going to know. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, for mass majority of them, it's going to be too late for them to come back and try to repent unto the Heavenly Father, man. That's why Romans 3 and 3 says what? What if something doesn't believe? Is it going to affect, the Lord's ministry? It will not, man. Okay? Everything is going to keep moving forward, man. Because at the end of the day, the whole world is subject to prophecy. Regardless if you choose to acknowledge it or not, man. Okay? And there's more?
It says, verse 5, behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, the famine, death, and destruction.
Yeah, and all these things are for the purpose of judgment. The sword, famine, death, and destruction, that's for judgment, man. And we are at the finale of judgments, okay? Because what? Jacob's trouble, which is indeed prophesied in the Bible, is as a time that the world has never seen. Unprecedented times. And here it is, we're set in place to forewarn the people, man. Because it's not going to be any joke, okay? The Lord is getting ready to let loose, man. Because he's fed up with, the wicked lifestyle of, these people, man. First and foremost, our people. Because, we're supposed to be set up as the standard of righteousness. But here it is, we went off, man. So the judgment's going to come. And it's prophesied that it's going to start at who? The house of Israel, man. Okay? Which is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And we're seeing a glimpse of that, man. Especially in the States with the DJ Trump moving, the ice troops. The Northern Kingdom is seeing a little bit of that, man, of this devil's wrath. And it's only going to intensify, man, as time goes on.
So it says the sword is sharpened.
Yeah.
And also further, true, that sword is referring to Esau Edom, okay, which is the sword of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right?
Mm-hmm.
For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Right, see, so when the brother read up, it said what? Sword, famine, death, and destruction. The reason why he's bringing it is because what? Wickedness had polluted the whole earth, man. And here it is what? It says the works are fulfilled. So now we're at the time that, hey, the Lord is not going to just sit idly by and watch these things go on, man. Okay, we're at the time where the Lord is going to say enough is enough. Now it's time to intervene. Because we know that, there's a certain threshold of wickedness that, this kingdom, or you may say Esau, Edom, has to obtain. And then boom, judgment's going to come, man. A combo of judgments. Okay? Scriptures speak about how that, Babylon, aka America's sins, has to be reached unto heaven. You know what I'm saying? So we're at that time, bro. It can't get any worse than this. It will get worse than this, actually, but we're saying in the sense of 20 more years, 50 more years for Esau to keep doing his wickedness. No, man. The time is short now. He only has a few more, you know what I'm saying? A few more months, years. As we're measuring the times. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that this guy's time is short, man.
Yeah. The Lord said he was going to accelerate the days.
Yeah.
And what are we seeing right now? We're seeing the WW3 coming to fruition, man.
Mm-hmm.
With these attacks upon Iran, Israel, and America fighting amongst another. That's all prophecy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, decreed by our Lord Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, which is a prophecy of the end times which we're in, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
See, basically, the Lord said, I'm fed up, man, Now it's time, man. I'm not going to endure this anymore. Okay? Now it's time to intervene. Because, you paraphrase the scripture, if the days were not shortened, we said what? No flesh would be saved, man.
Right.
So if the Lord just allowed Esau to do whatever he wants, the whole earth and everything that is therein is going to die off, man. Because Esau is as death. Okay? He's not going to stop with his wickedness, man. He's only going to continue. It says what? How that, they search out iniquities, the counsel that they have is deep, man. So this guy has to be done away with, man. And we're looking forward to that, man. Okay? And, some of us are going to get to behold this devil, fall from his throne, man. And here it is, he's falling from his throne as we speak. Okay? That's it.
Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
Yeah, the soul of the just, the righteous, the innocent blood that Isha has shed of our people. Okay? They're crying out unto the Lord, man. And the time, he's coming to the time where he's actually going to put his hands on the men of the Lord. Okay, scriptures speak about, the men of the Lord being beheaded. Those that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. Right? Did not DJ Trump speak about bringing guillotines back?
Yes, he did.
So, yeah, man, Esau's going to come for the righteous blood, man. And those of us that die in this truth, it's a glory. That's if your lot is to die in the truth, that's your way of glorifying Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, man. At the end of the day, you're gonna come back with him as one of the first fruits. One of those that get resurrected first, man. And you're gonna be up there, pleading the cause for your brothers too. That's down here.
Yeah, if you're not in the mindset that you can die for this truth, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna make it, man. You have to be mentally prepared to accept the fact that that could be a reality, man. You gotta picture yourself in a guillotine or whatever the case may be, man. Enduring torture, whatever the case, whatever the Lord has for you to glorify His name, man. Because guess what? Yahweh Shai endured that.
Yeah.
Yahweh Shai endured torture, man, and He took it as a lamb, as a sheep, in order to get that glory, in order to get that crown, man.
Okay.
But really, when you look at it in a spiritual sense, it's a short time of suffering for eternity of glory. So you got to look at it like that too. And every brother is not going to be going through that. The Lord said there'll be some standing here that shall not taste of death. There's going to be certain brothers that are going to have to go through that. But then there's other brothers that are just gonna be beamed up while they're alive. Okay? And they're gonna have to stay in the fire through that too. You know? Matter of fact, give me that where it said in a twinkling of an eye. You know? Go ahead, bro. You got something?
Yeah, real quick, just to back you up. This is Sirach 4 and verse 28. Strive for the truth unto death,
That's right.
and the Lord shall fight.
Strive means to fight.
Mhm.
So this is a fight.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're feeling low and demons is attacking you. You know, that's all part of the battle. You know, it's the conditions of the battle, so you gotta push through that.
Yeah.
You know? And as you push through that, you pray, you push through it, you get better. Yahweh Shai will build you up and make you stronger. Okay? So now those demons that you had before are nothing. You see? So now Satan got to send higher demons. Okay? And then, but while you're going through those training grounds, that's a training. Like I remember I used to watch those kung fu movies with my pops back in the day. Used to love those kung fu movies, old school VHS. And you know, the best kung fu movie was the one where the guy starts off as a little kid and he doesn't know anything, and then he's training, and then when he's a man, he's just the baddest dude out. Those were my favorite ones. You know what I'm saying? Like you've seen him grow up, you've seen him start at a weak level and grow up to a super strong level. Well, that's us. Okay? If we're of the elect, we're gonna grow to that super strong level. We can withstand anything, including what's coming in Jacob's trouble, man. Go ahead, bro.
I like the definition of the word strive.
Go ahead, bro.
In the Google definition, it says strives means to devote serious, intense effort or energy towards a goal, often against difficulties. It implies persistent, vigorous struggle or competition to achieve something.
Hey, we gotta struggle, man. You know, a dude, and that's part of being a man too. You know, there's a saying where it says, you know, there's no one more miserable than a man who never goes to anything because he doesn't get to prove himself. We in this truth, we gotta prove ourselves, man. You know, sometimes you in a low state, you just gotta eat it and then dwell in that low state for a time period. You know, until Yahweh Shai shows you what he needs to show you, or he builds you up. Okay? Sometimes you have to dwell in it. Sometimes it's good for us. It's not happy. It's not fun. Or get me that where it says no chastisement, is it, for, you know, seems to be fun? Joyous. Right? But it's needful. Shit, if it was up to me, I would always have money in the bank account until the kingdom comes. I always have something to pay my bills and buy food at all times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know? I'll have my roster. You know? All lawfully. I'll deal with it all lawfully. You know? But it doesn't work that way. Okay? That's too easy. That's not going to teach me certain things that I need to learn.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's not that the Lord can't give you that at a particular time, but you need to learn what you need to learn first anyway, if you're going to get those things. Go ahead, brother Salaki.
Okay, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse, I'll start at verse 7. I'll start at verse 6. It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourges every son whom he receiveth. If you endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For a son is he whom the Father chasteneth none."
That's right. All right. You know, you're dealing with your son. You care for him, right? So the Lord will care for us. Take care of us, but we have to endure the sufferings. Go ahead.
But if he be without chastisement, wherefore all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
Yeah. If you're not part of the chastisement, and you're really not a son of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, man. You know? That's it on that?
No, the book of Peter goes into how the chastisement is coming to the man, of the Lord, So we're all going through that, to a particular form of chastisement, for perfection.
Oh yeah.
Verse 9, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening for the present time seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Yeah, you become righteous. You become righteous through the chastisement, man. You know? That's it on that?
Yeah. So yeah, the point is, it's not comfortable at the moment. Going through the fire is not a comfortable experience, but it's beneficial, in the long run. You see, you go through a practice. Practice is not supposed to be comfortable, man. It's supposed to push you to your limits, man, so that when the game time comes, you've been there already.
That's right.
Things just flow better,
Yep, that's right. Go ahead. Well, you see them top athletes, top ball players, the ones that are real good, like they go through two people, they do a move, they do two moves, they jump over a person, they just finger roll it in, they might drop on the floor, they get up like it's nothing to them, they just keep moving and they're just jogging. They look like they didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah.
Because they did it so much times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it just becomes instinct after a certain
Yeah.
point. You're just moving instinctively.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what the Lord wants for us. He wants us to move through the hell instinctively, in the spirit, without being doubtful.
Right.
Go ahead.
That was on that.
That's it on that? Go ahead, bro.
This is Sirach 2 and verse 5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity."
Break it down, bro.
Yeah, so, like it says, acceptable men is tried in the furnace of adversity, man. So if you want to be acceptable in the eyes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he will try you in that furnace, man. And he's going to check you out, check what's your mindset when you're in that fire. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to maintain your integrity? Are you going to doubt? Which, these things might happen, but it's a thing of you not letting it happen again once you get into that fire, man. It says what? A righteous man falls 7 times and get it back up. So like the brothers were saying, right now this is the scrimmage, the practice. So you got to make sure you become endured and hardened. So when it's game time, which that game time is going to be when all hell's breaking loose. You know what I'm saying? So that you're on point, man. So that, like the brother gave that analogy with the finger roll, you drop on the ground, you get back up like it's second nature, You flow with the emotions. So that's how you have to be, man, becoming hardened. And that's how you're going to be acceptable in the eyes of the Lord, man. And the Lord said, multiple men in place as examples. The notable one is Yahweh Shai, okay, of how he endured the cross. That's a notable example we have of how to conduct ourselves in that fire, man. And the other prophets. And our elders and apostles on down, that's in this day and age, man. They speak about, their stories of things they had to endure in the truth, man. And here it is, they're still pushing hard. So what's your excuse?
Yeah, Yahweh Shai, how they were railing on him,
Right.
and how he was suffering, and he didn't revile back. He didn't say nothing back. He didn't, the way he was answering is like it was just another day in the office, like thou sayest,
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you know if I could call down legions of angels if I wanted to? He wasn't all messed up,
Right.
Oh, please, No, because he was trained for that. That's it on that?
Probably he replayed that multiple times in his mind, thinking about, being crucified, because he knew that he had to go through that hour of temptation, and went through and he prevailed, man. You know.
That's right.
Yes, I'm
Go
also.
ahead, bro.
This is Hebrews 12 and verse 2. It says, looking unto Yahushai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is sat down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. So like I stated earlier, Yahushai is the notable example that we have to look unto, man. Because, he endured the cross. And another mindset you could apply when you're catching hell is that it's not from a reason. Ponder upon what you're catching this hell for. What? The kingdom, man. Even the apostle in the book of Acts said, what? Through much tribulation, we're going to enter into the kingdom, man. So at times, just think about the kingdom, how you're going to get to have joy forevermore. And how that this pleasant servant, just for now, So I could take it, right? The Lord did say that whatsoever, is brought upon thee, I always make a way for you to escape. We always have these scriptures to fortify our mind, to make sure we're straight, man. And not crash out and faint in the day of adversity, man. Right? Scriptures say if you faint in the day of adversity, what? Your strength is small. So you have to gird your mind with these scriptures, man. That's what's going to keep you stable. Right, that's it.
Yeah, because the Lord's going to put you in uncomfortable positions that you don't like being in.
Right.
Positions you don't like being in, embarrassments, shame.
Oh yeah, that's coming.
Different things that is coming is even now. Certain things you got to go through, certain things. But he's doing that for a reason. These are all character building things, and also, adjustments you got to make to not end up in those situations no more. That may be kind of hard for your particular personality. But if you don't want to keep going through the thing, you gotta make those adjustments, man. You got to. What?
Yeah, verse 3, it says, for consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be weary and faint in your minds.
Right, because he was the unguilty, the sinless, yet accused of the sinful. So that's you gotta consider that. Like the brother brought out the First Peter, it says when he was reviled, he reviled not. Yahushua, he humbled himself and he put his whole trust in Yahweh, put his whole trust in Yahweh. Just like we have to put our whole trust in Yahweh. Okay? It says that's we're unto you we're called. We're called to suffer unjustly. Be purified and just take it, man. Go through the fire and just take it. The Yahushua set the path, man. That's the path that we have to take. Man. That's the only path to receive salvation. To receive honor. That's right. The path of being humiliated, man.
Oh yeah.
And it says before honor is humility. And we know we're not greater than the Lord. The scripture says the servant is not greater than his Lord, man. The things that Yahushua suffered, we're gonna suffer it too, man. But as a body, of course, because no man could endure what Yahushua did by himself. Because Yahushua was the only chosen spirit to have the walk that he had.
Regardless, we're still taking on that walk of Yahushua, that walk of suffering. Everybody has the specific suffering that they have to go through, which is a representation of the walk of Yahushua.
That's right. It's a representation. It's not the exact walk. It's the representation of the walk of Yahushua. You got your cross.
Right. Yeah.
Yahushua had his cross, which was the heaviest. See? Everybody has their own type of cross. You know what I'm saying? That's it on that?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, you got another one? Who's reading this now? Okay, let me jump over on this side. Oh, there's a little bit more. Okay, go ahead, finish
One
that
more
off.
verse. It says, verse 4. It says, "Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin."
We haven't even been at the good of death yet. We're really being trained for that.
That's right.
Brothers be bugging out, certain orders they get, they start lashing out, How they gonna deal with death? You know, certain things brothers get, certain situations brothers is in. They start. What do I do? You know, the jab comes. What do I do? How you gonna deal with the chick? Huh? You understand what I'm saying? Brothers, hey, how about Shimei Al-Shai? He's training us up in the spirit, man. To have that mindset, man. To let go of the world. To hate our life. You know? In the sense that what? That we're willing to give it up if it takes to get the kingdom. If that's what's needed to get the kingdom, if that's what's needed to gain Yahweh Shai, that we're to glorify Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're willing to do that. Okay? That's it on that? Okay. What you got on what?
Okay, real quick, in the book of First Peter 3:17 in the New Living Translation, remember, it is better to suffer for doing good, if that is what Yahweh Shai wants, than to suffer for doing wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll break it down, bro.
Yahweh Shai, if we suffer right now, there's a precept that says that if we suffer right now, it's because he don't want us to suffer with the rest of the people later.
Yeah. Oh, get that. Get what he's talking about.
Oh yeah,
Come on. What he's talking about. What do you let's say you have to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. You have nothing? Okay. Okay, read what you got.
This is Luke 14:27. And whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
Wow.
Yeah, if you don't bear it, look at that word bear. The word bear, man. Because everything we go through in this life is bearing the cross, man. You know? You know?
You know what yesterday, was it last week? You know, you said, speaking of referring to Paul, that's his glory. You know, the cross is part of your glory. That's your suffering.
Yeah.
That's your
You can boast in that.
Yeah.
You can boast in that. You can glory in that. Yeah. He said we glory in our infirmities.
Yeah, Paul said that. Yeah.
He said you are a servant of Yahweh Shai, I am more. You know? Then he lists out the things that he's been through. You've been through this, been through that. You gotta shut up when you hear that. No, you know, one time I lost my job. Nobody want to hear that, man. Nobody want to hear that shit. You hear what Paul was saying to you?
Yeah, he wore that. He took that. And if you don't take that, that's like rejecting Yahweh Shai. It's rejecting the sufferings of Yahweh Shai, which makes you not worthy. Makes you not one of his.
Go ahead, bro.
The word doth bear, it says bastazo, okay, in the Greek. Perhaps remotely derived from the base of, the idea of a move. To take up with the hands. To take up in order, to carry or bear. To put upon oneself, something to be carried. To bear what is burdensome.
To bear what is burdensome. To bear what is burdensome, man. You know? Go ahead.
To sustain, uphold, support. The parable says the cares of this life, or
look at the word bear. Look at the word bear. B-A-R-E.
Oh, you wanted to Google?
No, I don't. I wanted there, but it kind of gave you the same word within the definition.
When the parable of when it says they see the guy coming in the truth, it's too much for him.
Yes.
So he forsakes it, you know.
Couldn't bear it.
He couldn't bear it.
Couldn't bear it. Matter of fact, you could even get that too. But I think that was it on the definition.
And you said there's I think that's it. To lift, carry, take up. Yeah. Well, it says figuratively endure.
Endure. That's right.
Declare, sustain, receive.
Yeah. You know, what does it mean to endure? We always speak about it. It means to be hardened. Right? So as you're going through these things, what's happening, you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So that you go through similar situations, it's like whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever. You know what I mean? Okay, you have the definition for bear?
I don't have it, no.
B, or that's what
Yeah, it's B-A-R-E.
Yeah.
Give me two. It says bear, the verb B-E-A-R, says to carry, support, endure, or produce. And then the adjective B-A-R-E, to uncover, expose, or naked.
Bear to carry, to support. Okay? You know? So that, you know, go to the cross, see what it says when it says to the cross, let's see what it says on the cross. You know, because what you're bearing is these afflictions, sufferings, you know? That's what you have to carry with you. You got to deal with that. You know? And if you're carrying it, it stays with you. You got to go back into the world. Yeah? That's how they try to throw the cross off of them. Going back into the world. That's it on that? Sit on that, Shaquat?
Oh, yeah, come.
Okay.
Yeah, so the word cross, okay, is storos. It says a cross. Okay, it says a well-known instrument of most cruel and ignominious punishment. It says a pole, a cross, as an instrument of capital punishment, figuratively exposure to death, self-denial, by implication, the atonement of Yahweh.
Self-denial. It represents self-denial. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, because as you're going through, if you're taking on that suffering,
Yes.
you're denying yourself, your flesh,
Yes.
what you want. You know?
Okay. You got it? Okay.
Mark 8:34. Anyone? Yeah?
Yeah, you got it.
Mark 8:34. And when he called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
And break that down, Shaquat.
Yeah. So like the brother said, you know, if you're gonna come after, if you're gonna follow Yahweh Shai, what's acceptable is for you to deny yourself, you know, and take up your cross, man. Meaning bear, you know, bear the burdens, you know, and follow Yahweh Shai.
Sure.
That's true. The scarf. It remind me of even the guys in the world, you know, they do that. You know, oh, I got this scarf. I went through a lot of things, you know.
Scarf.
Oh, you guys got a flag. You got a flag.
Like, you know, so, you know, through suffering, you know, you get better, you know, like.
Yeah. Speak about the gun battles they've been in.
Like I got war wounds.
I got war wounds, you know.
Whatever, man. But yeah, that's, you know, you translate that to the truth, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, they've been through their things and get their glory, but our glory is true glory from what? From suffering for Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so I found a parable. It's Matthew 13 and verse 20. But he that received the seed into stony places, it says here, the same is he that heareth the word and anon with joy receiveth it, yet hath no root in himself, but dureth for a while. And when tribulation or persecution ariseth, which is the bearing the cross, because of the word, by and by he is offended.
He's offended, man. So what does he do? He casts it off him, man. Nah, man, I'm going back in the world, man.
Wow.
Where things are comfortable. You know? Comfortability, man. That's not a good thing in this time like that. Like, you know? Comfortability, you know, you can't be too comfortable. Being too comfortable ain't good, man. Being too comfortable, man, these people in the West are all fucked up in the head because of the comforts of the West. You know, the Uber Eats, they're driving everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even walking. That's why people are all obese and their knees hurt. You know? Because they're not even fucking walking, bro. You know? Bought me a bus pass, a thing pass. I'm taking a metro every day pretty much. Almost taking a metro. Not walking to the gym. You know, we're trying to get them steps in, man. Because you look at how it was back in the day, that was nothing. And then go look at the images or the videos of people back in the 90s. You didn't see no fat jakes. All the women were thin. They were all thin, man. Like a Leah. You see how Leah was? They're all thin like that. You know? If you had a little bump on the bum, that was like, oh, whoa, she got a fat ass, yo. Now it gotta be some crazy, colossal BBW, you know, not BBW, BBL looking, you know? You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, this brother here, if she light skinned, you ain't gonna care. But anyways, they also the BBL looking thing. You need some crazy looking thing, right? But back then, everyone was thin because what? They were walking. When they went to the grocery stores, they had the two, and they had the bags like that, the paper bags.
Yeah.
Now we get the bag, we complain. They got that paper bag. Where's the one with the handles? But that was how it always used to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And they were grabbing those two bags. They walked fucking 6 miles with the damn bags. Right? Back to the house. No wonder they were fit. But that comfort. I mean, you sit down and you don't want to go nowhere. And then, and then you got brothers lazy, man. You got brothers lazy, man. You tell brothers to go somewhere, and it's like you're taking nails out of their fucking hand to go somewhere, man. Maybe I'll do it, man. It's like shit, man. But the brother just hibernates all day, man. You know? But we have to get out of that spirit. That's the West that did that shit to us, man. You know? That's the West that did that shit to us, man. You know? Sometimes I gotta cook, but you know what? I'm in such a routine of cooking and doing my thing now that it's just normal now. I always say that the 30 days, man. Once you start doing something for 30 days, it starts to become a habit to you. That's what you always want. You want to hit that 30-day mark. You know? That's what you need to do, man. You know? Matter of fact, give me the scripture on the sluggard. Give me some scriptures on the sluggard, man. We can't be in no sluggard spirit, man. You know? The Lord speaks against that, man. You know? Anyways, let me know when you have that, brother, and read that. Because that whole shit, man, this world has messed Jake's mind up on such a level, man. It's not even funny, man. You got something?
I got something.
Bring it on out.
This is Proverbs 6 in verse 6. It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise,
Yeah.
which have no guide, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep?"
So guess what? They gather their food. They're working, moving, working. And what? They always have food in the winter.
Wow.
They're always taking care because they already prepared themselves. They weren't lazy. They were ready to make their moves. You know? So when you get that spirit of that lethargic spirit, that's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
That's a demon, man. And we gotta fight that demon to say, now I gotta do what I gotta do, man. All right? Because they eventually, it may not be right away where there's suffering that is attached to it, but eventually there's gonna come a period like it catches up to you.
Yeah.
You're like, shit. If I would have got that from then, I would have at least probably had that now. You know? Go ahead.
It says, "Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep,
Yeah.
so shall thy..."
Oh, well, yeah, that's it. A little sleep, okay, one day next day I'm gonna chill.
Yep.
A little sleep, you know? And then that's it. Now you complete sleep. Yeah. That's too late now.
That's a week. You missed a week worth of money.
Yeah.
A week worth of provisions.
Yeah.
After a month and a half, you missed a
Right,
week
right.
worth of provisions.
Right.
So now you're a week behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're struggling to get rent. Now you're struggling to get this thing, struggling to get that. Granted, things happen,
Yeah.
right? But some things is us. We gotta understand some things is our nature that fucks shit up. You know? So we can't always just blame Satan all the time. Sometimes saying, I didn't do nothing. say, sit there, what did I do? I didn't do shit.
You're a false witness.
You're very false. You're very false witness against Satan. Say,
Yeah.
what did I do?
But that goes into also examining yourself. Like, nah, somebody got to look. No, that's I'm the one that messed up.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Accountability. See, but that's the first step.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Lord could deal with a brother like that. That's gonna do what? That's gonna say, okay, you know what? I gotta change, because there's always that. There's always that. No matter what, you're in this truth. There's always gonna be a level of that. I could do better at this. I could do better at that. You know. But we don't want to be going through the same cycle in our life. You know. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it says, verse 10, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth.
And the thing is, the Yahweh, man, I call him the Yahweh Shemal Shai. Yahweh Shemal Shai is so beautiful that he'll give you all kind of opportunity. He'll throw it in your face. Here. And then you, playing games, thinking it's always gonna be there.
Right.
You know? When we read about what seize the opportunity,
Yeah.
we gotta go. You gotta grab that, man. Strike while the iron's hot, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it says,
Oh, hold on. That's what Jacob did with the blessing,
Yeah.
right? With Rachel, Rebecca, right? His mother. She said, "Oh, okay, go do that now." He had to strike with the iron's hot. He couldn't have waited for it. There was only one blessing to be given, man.
Yo, bro.
We would have got the blessing of the sword.
Yeah.
We would have been left with the blessing of the sword.
Yo.
Huh?
Yo.
If we didn't take that, we would have been out there, you know, bomb them, you know, tripping, trying to get back to birthright. Nah, man. So we gotta perceive these things, man, in the spirit, man. You know. Go ahead, bro.
yeah, it says, verse 11, so shall thy poverty come as one that...
And you know what's so funny about it is that once you do it, you feel good.
Right.
Like, I got it done. But the demon is before. After you do it, you're happy. You know what? That's good, bro. It's a good thing I did that. Go ahead, bro.
And I think there's a scripture that speaks about how that, you know, when you work for something, you know, afterwards you like enjoy yourself or something like that. You know,
Ecclesiastes.
yeah, I think it's Ecclesiastes, yeah. You know, when you put that sweat, that hard work, you
Yep.
know, you feel like if you want to rest, like you deserve it because you actually did some shit, you know. Not something
Right.
you did work. You know?
Break it down,
If you didn't do anything, then you just there's no feel right, bro. You know, even as you're resting, like nah, I don't know, man. You know, I feel like I should have been doing something with my day, you know.
Yep.
That's
Feel
part of-
useless.
Yeah, that's part of observing the opportunity, you know.
But like I said, it's part of this. It's part of us, the toxicity of the society that we have to get out.
Yeah,
You know. Go ahead. That's it.
yeah.
And then brothers be sitting and then brothers don't be even doing a lesson.
Yeah.
At least you could have got a lesson in it too.
Yeah.
You know. Go ahead, bro.
It says, so, verse 11, so shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth, and thy want as an armed man.
Yeah. So want, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, lack because what? Because of being a sluggard, man. Right? Like I said, sometimes things happen where, you know, but then there's a lot of times when it's actually us. You know?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, it is, I am sure. And the law, it says if you have a, you know, wicked and slothful servant, you know, it's supposed to be put, you know, stoned, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how, within our...
Servant?
No, not like
Son.
son.
Son, you said servant.
I
Son.
said, oh, Salakia, slip of the tongue. I meant to say son, but that shows you the importance of, you know, how that in our culture it wasn't, you know, you have no lazy person around just, you know, kicking it.
It's a law.
You know, yeah, it's a law. You know, you get stoned if that happens, man. You know.
If you live in pleasure, because it said a drunkard. My son is a.
He was a drunkard.
Yeah.
That's
all
true.
All he's doing is just.
Matter of fact, no. You know, speak, brother. Speak.
I'll get it.
Mahaya, you get it. Yeah. Speak.
Yeah, you know, so that's what it is. You know, it's actually a law to not be lazy, pretty much, and not live in comfort. Versus now, you know, that shows you Esau's kingdom is off too, because he promotes comfort, living.
Yeah.
You know.
But the thing is, comfort is not wicked. It's the balance of
the
it.
amount of it. Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be a particular balance of comfort with the hard work.
Yeah.
It has to make sense though. This place is oversaturated with comfort. It's oversaturated, man.
Yeah.
And he's eating. You can watch these Edomites. That's how they live.
Yeah.
They don't cook. My grandma always said the Edomite woman she knew they never cooked.
I know.
They didn't cook. Even back in the days when she came over here. Okay? They would buy the restaurant shit. Even now they go to the IGA to get that chicken.
But it's garbage, baby.
And this shit's trash. Hot, you know? Trash. I see one today. I seen a bunch of them today grabbing their little chicken. I was like, yo, you should feel ashamed of yourself, man. This is what you're feeding your family? But they can't because their whole thing is comfort. Go ahead, brother.
This is Deuteronomy 21 and
Matter of fact, look at the etymology of the word comfort. Look at the etymology of the word comfort. Yeah, we look up words here at Great Millstone, man. Go ahead, bro.
And even with that chicken, at least when Jake buys it, they try to season it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Put a little taste to it.
It's a bot. The remixer, the great remixer.
This is Deuteronomy 21 and verse 18. It says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them.
Oh, hold on, Salaki. Go to the one in Ecclesiasticus. I think it's 18. It says, give yourself to your pleasures, you'll be a laughing stock to your enemies. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him out unto the elders of his city, and unto the gate of the place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious, and will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel
Well,
shall...
read that again, the other part.
Okay. It says...
What he was, hold this description.
Verse 20, it says, and they shall say unto the elders of the city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious.
Yeah, because the parents probably gave him counsel, go do this, go work, go get a job, you know, in today's case, go get a job, go do something, but he wasn't listening, which made him rebellious and stubborn.
Right, they beat him too.
Yeah, they probably beat him too, yeah.
They beat his ass too. Right?
It says, he will not...
Before they put him to death, they
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
give him some licks.
Come.
Like a lot of licks. Right.
It says, he will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Vagabond. Yeah. It says, and all the men of
A
his...
glutton, hold on, a glutton,
Yeah.
right? Overeating. You know? Go ahead.
And a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. Yeah. So like, I was just wanted to say because that sun is basically a waste of space, man. You know, that's a seed that's not profitable because here it is. When you had sons and daughters, they're supposed to help the family. Because the family was a business back then, right? Whatever business that you were into, you had your son. He will come into that family business and help you with it. And then later on, if he's the firstborn or whatnot, you pass down that business onto him. But here it is, if he's here, he's not doing jack shit, eating up all the food, drinking all the liquor. You know what I'm saying? And he's just a waste of space and a waste of resources. You know, and then here it is, you told him multiple and multiple times, yo, get right, man, yo, lock in, you know what I'm saying? Go feed the cattle, or go tilt the land. And he's like, I don't have time, I'm tired. You know? Waking up from a hangover or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not being profitable to you, man.
Right.
You know, so hey, that's why you put him to death, and that way you take that evil away, man. Because let's say if he has siblings, he could influence the siblings too, man, to have that same spirit. You know, and then the kids come to you, well, how come he never gets to go and work and then he's just here and eating and drinking and not doing shit? You know, they're gonna see that and then they're gonna want to do the same thing too.
Yep.
You know, so if you put them to death, that's gonna be an example. See what happens when you do that? Then they're gonna lock in. They're gonna get in the field.
Extra hard.
Yeah, I'm saying before the sun comes out, but they're already they're already there, bro. Yeah, I finished. Yeah,
Breaking through rock.
yeah, bro. That's what it does, man. You know, puts that evil away.
I was working hard today.
Whoa. That's it, bro. You know, it's a great motivator, man. Seeing judgment, it gets you in the right path, man.
Right.
You know, because you don't want that same thing to happen to you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. If I may add, it reminds me of that. It showed that in our customs, it was like you said, the family business, where young children would be doing something. You know, King David, he brought food to his brothers. You know, and he was taking care of the sheep.
Yeah.
So he was doing things. Like he wasn't just like
Sitting around playing video games.
yeah.
That's what they do to you.
Yeah.
That's that comfort.
Yeah, man.
You know? See, even when we were young, we didn't just fucking sit around playing fucking video games. You know, it was in my spirit to do fucking chores. You know, in my spirit, I knew I was supposed to be a servant to my parents. My spirit, my mom would do things. I said, "Oh, let me help clean something. Let me do something." I used to ask. And then my mother trying to be a new age mom.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, you know what she did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go clean the toilet. And then I repent. No, because you say that to fuck with me, you know, like go give me the most disgusting job to do.
This is what you
You know? Right? But to clean a room and shit like that. But then you kind of felt like you should do more. You see her doing it, I should do this and that. Because in their spirit, sometimes she told me watch the dishes or whatever, But you do it because you know that's what you're supposed to be doing for your parents. These kids nowadays, they ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
A lot of them is sitting in front of fucking TV playing video games, man. All manners of the night. That's not natural. Okay, that was it.
Come.
You go.
I'm trying to mix up what you said with this precept in Matthew 7 and 19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into fire.
Easily cut down and cast into the fire, man. Yeah, so hey, that's an example of not bringing forth good fruit. You're just flipping lazy.
Yeah.
You're drunkard, gluttonous, not profitable, man. You know? It's okay to eat after you did a long day's work.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you burned off a lot of calories doing that work. So when you eat, you're refueling the calories back in your body. If you didn't do nothing all fucking day, you're eating and eating, what are you replenishing?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it on that. You got the comfort. Go ahead.
Says here the word comfort, feeling of relief in affliction or sorrow, solace, consolation, as still intake of comfort, also source of alleviation or relief from old French confort, consolation, solace, pleasure, enjoyment.
Pleasure. There goes that word pleasure. Okay, go ahead.
Right? And so like the scriptures say, what she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. You know, now that doesn't only apply to the woman, but everybody. You know, if you're living in pleasure 24/7, man, hey, that's death, bro. You know, no discomforts, no hardship. I think that's not good, man. You know, like we're going into in this lesson.
It's not. This precept is not only for Cardi B, right?
No, it's for everybody. Yeah.
Listen on that.
Enjoyment from conforter to solace to help to strengthen. An old English word in the same sense was for, meaning state of enjoyment resulting from satisfaction of bodily wants and freedom from anxiety. It says here strength, support,
When
encouragement.
you think about Israel when Moses went up to the
Oh, they
mountain,
went out to play?
they went up to play. Right?
Yeah.
That's all Jake thinks about, playing and partying. Man.
That's already, yeah.
You ever been to the fucking Caribbean? You go to the Caribbean, and them niggas can have a 24. Bro, when I went to Barbados one time, they had a flipping in the movie theater. They were having a party in the movie theater. It's like you go to the movie theater, the Scotia Bank. There was a literal party in the movie theater, brother. You go to the movie, you listen to the movie, and it was free. Once you pay, you can go to any movie. You go to the movie, you watch the movie, come out, say, party, and they're all dancing and shit. I said, yo, these people are fucking crazy. Jake is crazy. Jake knows how to fucking party.
Yeah.
That's all Jake knows how to do. Is have fun and enjoy. But to do righteousness, Jake don't know what to do at all. You know? That's it on that? Go ahead.
This Proverbs 21:17. He who loves his pleasure will become poor.
Woo! He that loveth pleasure will become poor. So you gotta have a strict container, right? Container means to control the pleasure that you have.
Yeah.
You have to, man. You know? I said, yo, I was like, yo, man, I usually have maybe my 1 day a week I would drink my yayan. And I said, yo, I gotta cut that out. Because I gotta hit my goals. So if it's fucking my goals, I gotta cut it out. I don't know, 2 months or what, I don't know. I gotta see what I can do. You know what I'm saying? I want to drink that yayan, brother. I'm fighting against my own flesh for sure.
Yeah.
I want a little bit of that comfort to drink that yayan. Right? I ain't dealing with no woman, I wanted that little comfort to drink that yayan. I said, fuck, I gotta reach my goals. I gotta get to a fit fucking weight. Fuck all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm drinking eating the protein and shit. Goddamn Greek yogurt. So you can see this is Greek yogurt right here. This is Greek yogurt. Right? And calculating exactly what I'm supposed to eat. And today I was feeling famished and weak, and I was like, yeah, you know, that's how I felt when I got in shape last time. I was feeling this way. I was feeling kind of like empty, like I was hungry constantly, like kind of like, you know, weak.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, yeah, but you know why? Because that's the calorie deficit. You gotta be in that calorie deficit for real. And then less carbs. When you get less carbs too, not enough carbs, and sometimes you feel like that. But that's what's necessary to get where I have to go. It's not an easy thing. Right? But read that again.
Yep. Okay, this is Proverbs 21:17. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich.
Right. So, but if you don't discipline yourself in these type of ways, we're not going to reach where we need to reach, right? Because even when you're doing a business, you got to be disciplined with the money you're spending. You got to put certain money aside for the business.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't just take them, okay, I have this profit. Oh, yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Go to the strip club. No.
Yeah.
You got to chill the fuck out. Put things aside, put things aside to build up. Right? For the next part, to grow. And then you could get to a point where you say, okay, now let's take a little something aside. And we could do a little something. Right? That's the mindset you have to have. You know? Read that whole thing again. Okay, let's speak.
Real quick, because the Lord could do that. He could bless you. He could bless you in a season, and then the next season will be not as much. Like Joseph, with Pharaoh, there was a blessing, a 7-year blessing.
That's right, brother.
And then depending on how you deal with that 7-year
That's
blessing, the
right.
next 7 years,
Wow.
you know, so that can happen too.
Wow.
The Lord can bless you in a certain season, but the next season,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a deficit, you know.
Imagine that I just ate all
The whole thing,
food.
and then what are you gonna do the next
Yeah.
7 years?
Yeah.
Wow. That's wisdom.
Yeah, that's wisdom to preserve.
That's wisdom, man. You gotta think like that.
Mhm.
Oh, well, we're coming to a time where it might be famine. Well, not maybe, there is gonna be a famine. So we gotta move wisely too,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
Yahweh Shimon Shah will provide, but we also gotta use wisdom too. You know? So, that's it on that?
No, yeah, just to add to that precept too, because what's it called? Pleasure is expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is.
For you have, you know, to put it in the modern day sense, right? You know, people go out, you know what I'm saying, whatever, Friday night, Saturday night, you go out. It's expensive, man. You know, to buy them shots, you know what I'm saying? And people are already buying bottles and shit, you know, you hear the amount they spent for that one night, like, got them a whole paycheck. You know, just for a few hours of pleasure and wake up the next day through.
They do that.
You know?
Correct.
Bro, they be spending like 400, you know what I'm saying, 500,
They do that.
some of them for 1K. Like, what the fuck? Yo. And that's people with like regular 9-to-5 jobs. They're not even balling like that, bro. And I'm just like, what the fuck? You
I
know?
had one Simeon night tell me, when you go with a girl, you gotta spend minimum 400.
Oh,
Yo.
I looked at him like, yo, just cut my hair. Finish the trim.
What?
No, I serious, Poppy, I serious. That's what Simeon is bug dog tribe.
Yeah, man, it's expensive, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go take a walk in the
He said 400 minimum, brother. I looked at him like, this guy's crazy, bro. This guy's nuts. But anyways, yeah, go ahead. But hey, but it said not to be rich, right? Hey, you may not want to be rich, but you don't want to be poor, right? So you still gotta fucking manage that shit
yeah.
and put a container over the pleasures, right? You don't want to be a damn. Oh, there's a word for it, man. There's a word for it, man. If I can find that word, I think I had it in my notes. Go ahead, read that whole thing again.
Okay, so this is Proverbs 21 and verse 17. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. Yeah,
Okay,
but I don't. I got another
Yeah,
one.
yeah, and I give the example, you know, if you live in that pleasure, you're not gonna have bread now. You know, you're constantly gonna be living off of debt or chasing the next paycheck, man, to you know, sustain your needs. And some people, they say fuck their needs. They just say, I need that pleasure. So the first thing when they get that check, you know, they go and ball out, man, to
That's
get
these
pleasure.
women,
Yeah, that's what they do, bro. You know, so that's not wise, man.
Yeah. And another thing, these people that love pleasure, they're never satisfied. Because they always want to chase the next high. You know what I mean by next high, the next pleasure. You know? That always keeps you in a state of chasing. You're never satisfied. That's not good, man. Eventually you're going to crash. You know? But I have a precept on according to provision. So Brother Shaquan brought a point. This is Acts 11 and 27. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch. And there stood up one of them named Agabus and signified by the Spirit that there should be great dearth throughout all the world.
Read that again. Hold on.
Okay.
This is the word I was looking for. Asceticism. I was looking up a particular scripture that was written to Timothy about take a little wine for that stomach state. Don't drink too much water. Because Timothy was on some super disciplined stuff. Right? So Paul said, listen, I drink some wine, you know. Your stomach's sick and your infirmities. Don't just drinking water all the time, right? Because Timothy was on some super discipline. The word asceticism says severe self-discipline and avoidance of all form of indulgence, typically for religious reasons. You don't want to be too deep where it's like, yeah, where you're doing too much where you ain't getting nothing. So to balance yourself out, right? But most of the time, that's not Jake's problem.
Yeah.
Most of the time, Jake, the problem is too much goddamn pleasure.
Yeah.
That's what you need to fucking calm down on. You know? But you got few people that are like that, few brothers that are like that. They may be too deep into the robotic lifestyle. Nope, I won't enjoy nothing. I'm living a stoic life. You know? And the brother may need to loosen a bit, man.
Yeah.
It's a false balance.
Huh? There's a balance.
It's a false balance.
It's a false balance. Right? But most of the time, like I said, Jake is mostly dealing with that pleasure demon. You know? Go ahead.
Okay, this is a quick point. Acts 11 and verse 27. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch, and there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit.
And there's going to be less pleasure. There's supposed to be less pleasure. It's not a place of pleasure. There's going to be less pleasure.
Yeah, like as we move on to the deliverance. Is that what you mean?
And right now, period. Right now, we're in captivity, man. This is not a time for too much pleasure, man. It's a time for, discipline and
Right.
serving Yahweh Shem Shai.
Right.
In the right way. The pleasure is, that's like I say, you gotta put that container
Right.
on it, and that's the best way to have it. Because that way you can grow in the ways that matter.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Ezekiel said, shall we then make mirth? But even I'm thinking about when Elisha, his servant, wanted
Gold.
wanted the goods from, because Elisha refused it,
Yeah, a piece of gold.
and then he forgot the servant. He basically went after the goods that I believe it was a servant of the prince or something. Forgive me for paraphrasing. But then Elisha, when he came back to Naaman, and he came back to Elisha said, "Was not my spirit with you? Did not follow you?"
Mm-hmm.
And he told him basically, "Are we in the time to accumulating riches and doing this? Basically living in pleasure. Are we in the time for that?
Yeah.
So there's a time for everything.
That's right.
But it's in the book of 2 Kings.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right? You got something?
Matthew 9:14. Then came to him the disciples of John, saying, Why do we and the Pharisees fast oft, but thy disciples fast not? And Yahushua said unto them, Can the children of the bride chamber mourn, as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them, and then shall they fast. Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Right, so I brought that out. There's a season to things, and right now we're not in the season of pretty much pleasures and joy and mirth, because we're in captivity, like you said, And Yahushua is not. Yahushua is, kingdom is not. It's not established, So we can't be comfortable here. A comfort comes with pleasure,
Right.
But this is a time where brother, you fast, you pray, It's a time to mourn, because you're in captivity. But the time will come when we're gonna have fun, so to speak, in the kingdom, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Remind me of that scripture, the Lord is pleasure forevermore.
Yeah.
So it's going to teach us really what's pleasure for real.
Right, that's real pleasure.
Like,
Yeah.
So right now we're in the time of teachings, morning.
Oh
We're
yeah.
in the time of morning.
Yeah,
It's
sackcloth.
morning right now. That's right. Yeah, we got sackcloth.
Mhm.
That's right. So I got that Saraki T.
Yeah, bud.
And verse 30. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetites.
Refrain yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's them containers. You have to control and contain. Even the things that you want to do, that's true discipline. And you stop doing the things you want to do. Go ahead.
It says,
Because it's not that hard to do it if you don't like it anyway. Right? But if you like it and you stop, that's the hard one. Go ahead.
verse 31, if thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies that malign thee.
Yeah, right? That's right. Because you're gonna be, if you constantly giving yourself to your pleasures, you're gonna be fucking fat, a drunkard, a loser, a lustful thirst bucket, everything bad. Everything bad. You know? Everything bad. You be thirsty, you know? A glutton, everything. Because you're giving yourself to that pleasure. But if you constantly control that, then what? You're gonna go places, man. That's how it goes, man. Go ahead.
Galatians 5 and 24, in the GNT. And those who belong to Hamashiach Yahushai have put to death their human nature with all its passions and desires. The Spirit has given us life. He must also control our lives. We must not be proud or irritate one another or be jealous of one another. And the point was that if you belong to Yahushai, that means that you crucified. That means that you put aside your own desires, your passions. As we went into bearing your cross, putting the self aside. Okay, you belong to Yahushai. That means that you will fulfill His will. Okay, you fulfill the will of Yahweh Shai. And of course, there's a balance to it. But again, you have to seek the kingdom first. So again, you're seeking the spiritual over the carnal.
Yeah.
This is Jeremiah 6 and verse 16. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein." So the old way is the better way, man. You know, the ancient way, the ways of our forefathers. That's the best way. You know, if you truly want to find rest, like the scriptures say, to find rest for your souls, you gotta go back to how did my forefathers do it?
Right.
How did they? How was their life like? Like we're going into walking more often rather than dragging all the time, being stationary. Because you look at the creation, it says in Genesis that the Most High made the moving creature.
Right.
You know, so we're supposed to be moving. You know, not supposed to be standing, just sitting. That's what leads to back problems.
Yep.
You know, certain diseases and whatnot. Because you're not moving, man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be in motion.
Yeah.
So that's an example of you looking, for the old path, man. You know, because that's the good way. This new gen shit, it's not working. It's not it, man.
The diet that they had,
Yeah.
right? You look at how did they eat? You know, was it usually the same sort of meals?
Right.
Similar meals every day, or what did they do? Did they add certain things to have the full nutrients? And lentils have a lot of different nutrients in it.
That's true.
Lentils is very nutrient dense.
That's true.
You know, barley, that's good for the digestion and all that. Okay. So all these different things that we used to eat, man, you gotta try to get back to that. That's our diet, man. You know? And then, speaking of pleasures, we had our holy days of pleasure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There was other times when Jake had fun here and there too. But were they fucking going out every weekend?
This season.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Was it every weekend? Not necessarily, not the ones that were disciplined. Right? So, this is another thing to think about. But that's all, the Babylonian side of things rubbed off on us that we grew up in. You know? Go ahead, bro. And how much more fun is it let's say if we went out once a month rather than if we went out once, you know what I'm saying? How much more fun would it be? It's like an event, like, today's the day, we're going out there, it's the 15th, we're going, oh shit, okay. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel better, right?
Yeah.
It's like, even like, that's what I was saying, if I would have a woman, I'll try to make it once a week, you don't always see each other, because then you get to miss each other. That'll keep the relationship longer anyway.
That's right.
You just can't get a sex demon. Sex demon, she can't wait 2 minutes. Hey, you weren't here. What do you expect me to do?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's what that leads to. But if you notice, a lot of relationships got fucking domestic when 2020 hit, because they were locked down. They have to be amongst each other.
Yeah.
Dude was slapping the girl upside the head. She was kicking him in the face. You know.
Yeah.
So there's all kind of crazy shit going on because you need to have fucking separation. Hey, Jacob had his own tent, man.
That's right, that's right.
Okay, Jacob had his own tent. Abraham had his own tent. Isaac had his own tent. Sarah had to go into the tent. She wasn't. She didn't, he didn't wake up. Sarah's right there, fucking butt in the fucking air. No. Yeah. He was doing his own thing, man.
That's right, that's right.
If he called for her, that's what she came, man. You see? Did I send for you? Why have you? Yeah, because even King David with Bathsheba came with a Solomon. He's like, well, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? He came with that spirit, you know? What the hell do you want? You know? Go ahead. Who's reading?
That was in the
Okay, who's next?
If I'm at real quick, there's YouTube videos about that. You have couples that vlog and pretty much try to stay with each other all day in the same house. It didn't work. At the beginning, it's a honeymoon. Like you get, you know. Eventually, it's like, yo, you get annoyed, you know. Like,
What the hell? Why am I even dating this person?
Yeah. You know, but I showed you that naturally you're not supposed to be like
That's right.
all together all the time, you know.
That's what I told the brothers that tonight. I got liberated from that. I ain't going back. Going back. It's impossible, bro.
I mean, the apostle gives us counsel not to, you know.
You wake up, she's there. You know
What's your quad? Say what you're gonna say?
No, like the apostles, they give us counsel not to live with your woman.
Yeah.
If it's possible, have your own spot.
They always said that.
You know? That's spiritual, you know.
She's in the mood. She wants to throw a fit. You skedaddle. You know?
Yeah.
Go back to go home. You know, call me when you come down. You know. But if she's there, shit. Where are you gonna go? You know. You can't go somewhere and clear your head down. You know, you're
Right. You need to clear your fucking head, bro.
You know, she's there yapping. You know, trying to sleep. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's why you have certain in the C19. You know, a lot of men do stay in the car. You know, before they go home. You know, to catch a breather because you know once they go back. You know what I'm saying? All type of yapping, man.
Yeah, well, Quebec, you couldn't do that because they'd be fine for being outside.
Oh yeah.
That's the. You don't remember the curfew?
Oh, the curfew. Okay.
Yeah, you couldn't be outside. So even them niggas out here couldn't do that.
Yes. What you got, pizza? I was going down.
Bob, what you got?
I got Galatians 6, and I'll start at 14. As for me, however, I will boast only about the cross of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. For by means of his cross, the world is dead to me. I am dead to the world. It does not matter at all whether or not one is circumcised. What does matter? What does matter is being a new creature. As for
the inward man, not about the outward stuff. It's the inward man that matters to God. What did he say about when they were looking for the king? He said, man, and the Most High doesn't see how man seeth. He's looking at the spirit. That was a covenant to signify something in the flesh. But the spirit is what matters. Okay? You gotta be, your heart has to be circumcised. If you're circumcised and your heart is not circumcised, it means nothing to you. Alright? Go ahead.
As for those who follow this rule in their lives, may peace and mercy be with them and with all the Most High's people. To conclude, let no one give me any more trouble, because the scars I have on my body show that I am the slave of Yahushua.
The scars?
The scars.
Oh, he went through a lot of shit. Because he actually had literal scars. Yeah, it was beaten. It was beaten he said it was beaten 39 times twice by the Jews, man. The hell, man, you tell us that was not no soft shit. That was, it's dripping skin. how they beat the slaves, you know. So you know he went and he's like, this is to prove.
Yeah.
This was for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man.
Mhm.
You know. So that.
No. Like these Christians, like they say, show me, tell me your testimony. You know, at that time, Paul would just have to show them his back. There's no denying that he believes. The physical proof. You see?
They would say this guy's a madman. Why you show me your back? What does that mean? What does that mean? Jesus wouldn't do that.
I don't see the spirit.
He wouldn't. Yeah, Jesus wouldn't do that.
Government free.
Yeah. Fleshy. Go
That's
ahead.
it on that.
Government free. Got some? This is Romans 13:13. Because we belong to the day, we must live.
Yeah, 'cause these Christians don't think that you're supposed to suffer when you're in the truth. Showing you they don't understand this truth at all. And they're gonna be lined up to take the chip with the cross on their neck. You know? Go ahead.
Romans 13:13. Because we belong to the day, we must live decent lives for all to see. Don't participate in the darkness of wild parties and drunkenness, or in sexual promiscuity and immoral living, or in quarreling and jealousy. Instead, clothe yourself with the presence of the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and don't let yourself think about ways to indulge your evil desires.
Yeah, well, you gotta practice discipline. You know, you gotta practice discipline, man. You know? That's the thing. You know, every woman you see is not, you don't have to fucking lay with her. Just because she's ready to go. I know this world is fucked up. And, you know, you're so deprived that, you know, a chick touch your leg. You know?
You're ready to bust move.
Yeah, I know. She looked like a frog, but you know.
That's a frog, man.
It's her brother's trying to justify it. You know? Yeah, that's my rib eye. You know? Hey, but it is what it is, man. Brother, we deal with all kind of shit, bro. I know I know there's brothers out there still dealing with the end up with the long nails and the eyelashes. I guarantee it, I know it. Because, hey, brother, I'm telling you. The brothers just say all kind of stuff, you know, but you know, the flesh, you know? And Jake is so deprived that Jake is just ready to accept whatever, man. You know?
And that's not kingly minded.
That's right.
To accept anything. No, you gotta have standards.
Standards.
True. Very, very true. It's not like you said. It's not kingly minded. It's not. That's not a rulership mentality. See, a lot of Edomites don't think like that. A lot of Edomites would be all kind of chicks throwing themselves at Esau. Yeah, I'm not interested. You know, because he has more of a ruler class mentality. Okay.
Self-esteem.
Yeah, and he's a PDF file too. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Matthew 7:13. Enter ye into the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction,
Yeah.
and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
That's it. Narrow is the gate, man, that lead to life. So that means it's difficult. That means there's discipline involved. Right? That means there's denying of the flesh involved in that. Yourself or your ego, all that BS. You know? Then you could make it through that. See? Go ahead.
And it says here, Sirach 6 and
you know what's crazy? Once you practice that discipline, you know, then you're free to indulge in those things. Once you've mastered that discipline, because you can't get caught up in that. It's like what's his name? I was watching a movie. There's a movie called Cadillac Records with these old school blues guys. You know, Muddy Waters, a man named Howlin' Wolf. These are old school blues legends. These are the people that pioneered rock and roll and stuff like that before Esau got a hold of it. Like the Rolling Stones, their name was they got their name Rolling Stone from one of Muddy Waters' songs. My father was a Rolling Stone, right? And and basically Muddy Waters, he from Jake buying the Cadillacs and the fur coats and all that shit, and then Howlin' Wolf, he was like a guy that he liked to live a humble life. He didn't like to do all that shit, So then Muddy Waters seen him. He's like, yo, you looking, you look like you don't got no Cadillac or nothing. Look at the car you driving, And then Howlin' Wolf said, yeah, but I own my car. My car does not own me. They got cut. Right? Because he couldn't control his pleasures and his lust, man. See, I can control my pleasures and my lust, man. It doesn't control me, man. That's what I mean when I say that, what I said before, man. Go ahead, that's it on that? You got something?
Yeah, I'm going to try to tie with what you said.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians 2:15.
And we're going to get the last scripture.
For he that is spiritual judgeth all things,
Yeah,
yet he himself is judge of no man.
that's it. We'll break down.
Like if you're spiritual, you can master the lust and everything. So like the quote that you said, I'm trying to
Yeah, you're free to do those things if you master discipline.
that's right.
And no one can judge you for it.
Exactly.
No one can judge you for it, man. Because that shit doesn't own you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You decide when you do it.
Right.
It's not your flesh deciding. You decide what it.
Yeah, you conquered it.
You conquered.
Yeah, exactly.
You conquered, man. Like when your house was drinking wine, you didn't drink wine because he was a drunkard and you couldn't control his wine habit. Every time you touch the wine bottle, you shake it. Say, Lord. What? No. If he was in perfect, he had that control, man.
Yeah.
He had that perfect control, man. That strength, that discipline, man. I'm gonna drink some yaya. Get my heart glad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's about time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
That don't mean he gonna fucking do it 2 days in a row after that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's necessary.
It's necessary, bro. It's called balance. And then you got, bro. Well, you got brothers taking the Nazarite vow. I mean, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But for me, every now and then, but I'm gonna, the Lord will, I'm gonna grab some yayan. You understand what I'm saying? You dig? You have the bread. He's like, okay, I'm gonna eat. But he conquered it. He went 40 days, 40 nights without food.
Wow. That's it.
And drink. So he conquered it.
That's it.
I'm gonna give you some fish with a honeycomb.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
I want to taste the sweetness. I want to eat. I want to nourish my body.
Mm-hmm.
So what? That don't mean he was binge eating. Yo, you got another one of them Baba Kushai, you have another one of those fish? Oh, two, Oh, one more honeycomb Baba Kushai. Let me get 2 malts with that. I always gotta throw in that jab on But nah, he knew how to control it, man. He conquered it, man. That's when it doesn't become wicked. It's wicked when it's fucking controlling you.
Mm-hmm.
And lust. I forgot about lust. If someone who's completely controlled by lust, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do if they're completely controlled by lust? Oh shit! The better question is what they not gonna do?
Yeah.
Really? They're gonna do everything, man. Adultery is what I was gonna say.
Right. Yeah.
Cause they get yo, I ain't getting no boxing and too much, yo, she's hollering at me. Where's the man? She said she had a man. Should I have a picture of him on the phone? Is it confirmed? There's no picture on the phone. What's his name? I think she was just saying that so I could want her more. See, these women, you know, they play these games in the spirit. I think she's single.
Whoa, yeah.
I said, yo, but brother, there was size 12 Jordans at the door, wasn't there?
No.
Yeah, brother. Yeah,
She has a
but
brother.
yes.
She has a brother.
Yeah, you know. Dude, she has a son, but he's 6 years old, brother. He's not gonna have 12 sons. When I was young, I had a growth spurt when I was in 6th grade. I had this growth spurt, you know, because he can't control his damn lust. And then before you know it, he turns into the gorilla.
Oh.
Okay?
Level 10.
That's why you gotta control this shit, man.
Stop Pegasus. Floating somewhere.
That's why you gotta control this shit, man. Gotta get things in order.
Oh, man.
And like I said, man, I always tell you guys about the 30 days, hit that master, and then when you do certain things, you kind of feel defiled when you do it almost. You do it. Let's say if I don't drink, yeah, for 30 days. Then when I drink it, I kind of feel like I sin. Shit, I kind of fucked up. Added that shit in my body, you know? You had a fun time. I need to take a detox again. Right? Because now you controlled it. So anyways, man, that's it, man. Brothers, have any other last precepts you want to bring out?
No.
Okay, so with that, we're going to close up and we'll give all the praise going on.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Chadash.
Allah to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out, truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, but she must have the thumb, though.
Shalom.